I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not know jack spit about this product when SteelSeries offered to send it for review. I just saw the name Nova and thought, fantastic, a successor to my daily drivers, which I've been ranting and raving about for years, the ones I've coddled and customized. But this is actually a lesser model as far as price, feature set, but don't let that scare you off because this fits perfectly in their model lineup. And now SteelSeries truly does have a product for everyone in the audio department, whether you want buds, over the ear, Xbox, PlayStation, little bit of money, take all my money. And I didn't really expect to like the 3X, an entry level set of cans, nearly as much as I did, but I do think this offers a tremendous value, especially on the Xbox side of the house. Let's get it. A quick disclaimer to my audience, the Stallions and Stallionettes, these headphones were sent for review, but this is going to be an honest, comprehensive review. I haven't been paid or told to say or not say anything about the product, and if there's any cons, shortcomings, or areas of improvement, you're gonna hear about it, so these companies make better products over time. So a quick summary of what these bad boys are, a little bluff, bottom line up front, summary in the intro if you shall. There is now a little piece of Nova goodness, no matter what you're looking for. Sharing my screen for just a second. This was sent from my representative over there at SteelSeries, kind of breaking out the Nova lineup. The Arctis Game Buds, which I just reviewed. They label them the best gaming earbuds. You don't have to personally call them that, but they have won several awards calling them such a thing. The Arctis Nova Pro series, which I will personally call the best gaming headset that money can buy. And keep in mind, I've owned and do use frequently the Odyssey Maxwell, Sony InZones, and a lot of its major competitors. Then you have the Nova 7 series, which is labeled the best overall / mid-range headset. And then it just goes down the lineup. The 5, the 3, the 3 wired, and the 1, which is actually being replaced by the 3X. So keep that in mind. If you've previously seen the Nova 1 series, which is that entry-level headset, it is being replaced by the 3X, a wireless version. Notice whenever you click on the wired version, it does take you to a different model, the Nova 3. The wireless version, oh, that's weird. And then you click on wireless, it takes you to something else. Let's just backtrack. The 3X, wireless for Xbox, black. There's a white variant as well. There it is. With my dark theme, it's black and black, but this is actually white, which is the variant that I have over here. There is a PlayStation version, but it is called the 3P, not the 3X. The key notable features of this headset, other than the features for the price at $110, you are getting a wireless headset, which will get you 40 hours of gameplay when charged and 9 hours of gameplay off of only 15 minutes of charging. So fast charging and pretty good battery life on the whole. Furthermore than that, they are freakishly comfortable as they are using that suspension strap design, which we've seen on Arctis headsets for many moons. However, this only weighs 260 grams, so that works in conjunction with the retention strap. This headset does have quick switch Bluetooth, which is not simultaneous, where you can be picking up a phone call via Bluetooth while still using the 2.4 gigahertz dongle, but you can swap between the two modes, which is a close default. And last but not least, you do have universal support. Now, you are going to lose a little bit of functionality if you're not on the native console that is designed. So the 3X for Xbox, 3P for PlayStation, but you can get compatibility up and working on Xbox, PC, PlayStation, Switch, Mac, VR, handhelds, mobile, baked potato, that device in your mom's top drawer, pretty much everything. And there are a couple of different colorways, which is always nice to see. That one's I personally think the white is the most handsome. And I'm also just gonna go ahead and say that if you are on the PlayStation side of the house, I personally would recommend the Pulse Elite headset over these bad boys. Sound quality wise, they use planar magnetic drivers. They're also a pinch more comfortable, and they just work perfectly with the PlayStation, with the Tempest audio drivers, and I've had no issues with it disconnecting or anything. Pulse Elite for PlayStation 5 all day. But if you're on PC or Xbox, don't you go nowhere, because this thing is a bad set of cans. Also love to see this. There is no price discrepancy over here on a third-party vendor, that being Amazon, where I like to buy all my stuff. You do have all 3 of the colorways, and it's the same price here as it is on their website. As for the packaging and included accessories, it is no so similar to the Nova Pros, which are about 3 times more expensive, and the packaging is 3 times more premium in that bad boy. This is fine. This is fine for a budget set of headphones. These feel like I am holding air. I knew they were light by looking at the statistics, the tech specs, but these feel like, I'm not going to say a toy, but I thought Toys R Us went out of business. Do have a little bit of documentation down here as well. What the fuck? I didn't expect to see that. 15% off coupon for Control Freaks, which by the way, I am a Control Freak partner, so you can actually get off by using my code down there in the description. And then this QR code will give you the product information guide, which is virtually all the information in this pamphlet, but color, and you can pinch and zoom on your phone. This middle box does have some accessories in it, so don't discard it. And it is very nicely laid out. You do have that elbow-shaped USB-C cable with a adapter to go to USB-A. You do have a detachable microphone with a windsock or condom on the tip of her, and a very short USB-C to C cable. I said it was short, and I meant it. Garbage. Super flexible microphone, very reminiscent of the previous Arctis headsets, although this is removable, and the Pro does have a retractable microphone, which I personally prefer because you have no risk of losing it. But I know a lot of gamers were asking for a detachable microphone because that's their prerogative or preference, and SteelSeries listened to your ass. Couple of protective blocks inside of the ear cups, which are so soft and supple. We'll talk about that during the comfort section in just a mo. As for cosmetics or appearance, I think the white is incredibly handsome, contrasting nicely with this light gray. And keep in mind, there is a big aftermarket of color pop kits, but unlike the Nova Pros, you do not have those side plates, just the head strap and the ear cushions, which still can make your headset look pretty gosh darn custom. Man, I gotta give these things like an 8 out of 10, especially because it's a $110 headset. SteelSeries has been using this retention style head strap design, which does wonders for comfort. You do have a couple of dibbly dots in there, which can adjust for different head sizes. Popping off right there. There we go. And these are also moisture wicking, and you can wash these, and there's a big aftermarket, so if you want a different color, you can get that. I also like this topographical pattern. It actually goes perfect with my mouse pad here. And these stock ear cushions in combination with that suspension strap design and the lightweight make this one of the most comfortable headsets that I've ever worn, which is saying quite a goddamn bit because I've tested more than a couple in my day. As for controls, I'm going to compare it side by side with the Nova Pros, which I'll mention it one more time, does feel leagues ahead of the 3X as far as perceived build quality, and personally I like some of the design aspects more, like a bigger volume knob, a more assured feeling mute button, and an internal retractable microphone versus the detachable. But having said that, the controls are virtually identical. Everything is on the left ear cup, which I really do like. You do have a pretty small volume wheel, so that's going to take some getting used to. Also, it does feel pretty not satisfying as far as the tactile notches or steps. Each step of the way does not feel great. It does click in, which is going to give you a secondary layer of control with your chat game blend. You do have your mic mute over here, which does stay in and then stick out, but there is no LED status light on the tip of the microphone like there is with the Nova Pros to let you know that you are muted. This button feels fantastic and does actually have a little RGB ring around it, so that's your status light, but you can't really see that when you're wearing the headset. Right next to it is a USB-C port for charging, and then this would get you excited thinking, oh, a 3.5mm jack. Not really, that's actually just for your microphone. You have to go wireless with these. Unlike the Nova Pros, which actually do have a dedicated 3.5mm jack me off port. The Nova Pros do have the Bluetooth button on the other ear cup, so that's the only button over here, as where that is on the left ear cup. Where the hell is the Bluetooth button? Am I lost? That's the controls right there. The combination of the angelic lady voice in your ear as well as that pretty bright status light will have you knowing what the heck is going on with your headset at all times. As for software, at first glance, it looks like there's only a phone application for iOS and Android, which would kind of tick me off slightly, but that's not true. You can actually use the GG and Engine applications for Windows. Whoa, that's a low number. 8.1 and above. Most of us are on 10 or 11 by now. And you have to use the Sonar Audio Suite if you want to use Chat Mix on PC. Is something to be made note of. Oh, already got it installed. The app is always going to prompt you to install additional things like Moments, and just like Razer, they have all these additional plugins that you don't really need. Come over here to Engine, and you're going to click on your devices, which neither of these. I was in Xbox version on the dongle. Here we go. So you have a couple of options. I'm not going to activate Sonar because that splits your audio, which I already have done with my beacon, and I don't need any more audio sources on my PC. What I am going to do is click on the device itself so I can show you some of the features. You should do the initial update. You can pinch and resize, snap to the sides, full screen. Windows optimization is pretty good. You do have a lot of presets for games, and you can create your own 10-band equalizer, which does break down each frequency range. Over here, the microphone is removed, but if you have it plugged in, this is how loud you are, and this is how loud you are to yourself for reference if you want to monitor your voice. Mic preview is kind of like this, but just for testing your equalizer volume limiter. If sounds are too loud to you, it's hurting your ear canals, go ahead and turn this on over here in settings. I would recommend, since this is a wireless headset, dropping this down to about 5 minutes. So if there's no audio pumped through your headset, it will turn itself off. If you mess anything up, you can reset to default, and you do have an extended range mode over here, which will reduce your mic quality, but can give you an increased connection range. I don't really foresee this being needed or necessary unless you're really far from the device you're gaming on. It's like a bag of chips crackling in my ear. That was unpleasant. How does this sound? This is the out-of-the-box sound profile with the windsock on it. I'm going to remove my condom and go raw. So this is me going at you raw. How does it feel? How does it sound? How does it taste? So as for the pros, cons, and verdict, do I recommend this headset? Yeah, absolutely. Like I said in the intro, if you're on Xbox or PC and you got about $100 in your pocket, 110 to be specific, there really isn't a headset that I've personally tested that I would recommend over this bad boy. If you are on the PS5 side of the house, the original Pulse is pretty darn good, and the Pulse Elite is phenomenal. But if you are on the Xbox or PC side of the house, this would absolutely get my recommendation. If you want something to go in your hole rather than over your hole, the Game Buds from SteelSeries, which I just reviewed, are phenomenal. But again, kind of trending towards what I just said, I would recommend the Explore Sony Buds for PlayStation 5. But if you're on Xbox or PC, get the Game Buds or the 3X. Or if you got a pocket full of shekels, the Nova Pro is still the most customizable, most comfortable, slickest onboard controls, best gaming headset I've tried, and I've tried the majority of them. That's just my personal opinion, but it is my opinion. Please drop in the comment section below your opinion of this review. Was it a stinky turd, or was it saucy, as this headset is? And if you thought you're out of the woods with the SteelSeries product reviews, you're far from correct, my friend, as they have also sent one of their most popular keyboards, their most popular mouse model, and an insane set of surround sound desktop speakers I'm working on reviews for. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe so you catch those. I'll see you tomorrow.